Hey guys, it's Ashley. So, over the course of the last few years, I have posted videos about things that I've foraged or found, and I feel like foraging is becoming a hotter and hotter topic. And so, I wanted to share a little bit. I've written articles about this on Thursday, a few other areas, but I really wanted to post a video about this topic because I feel strongly about it for a number of reasons, and I want to share how you can forage if you would like to as well. I think when the economy is not so strong or we're just trying to find creative solutions to bring joy into our lives, foraging from our yards or nearby where it's legal and safe to do so is such a beautiful way to bring nature into our homes, and it doesn't have to cost anything. And I think just that is beautiful and creative and worth talking a little bit more about. So today I just want to share some of my, like I said, my main kind of foraging rules and tips and thoughts and some guidance that I've picked up along the way doing more of it myself. So let's dive right in. Okay, so the first tip that I want to share is really about safety, and I'm going to kind of come at that from a few different angles. Safety in that if you're going someplace that is down a dark dirt road where you know it's like legal and okay to forage, but also you're going to be alone, like maybe think about bringing a buddy or doing it in daylight and wearing proper footwear so that if there are snakes or things nearby, you are safe from all of the physical aspects of that. Similarly, I cannot highly recommend enough having an app of some sort or like a plant identifying book or something similar. I use the Seek app. Not sponsored. I think it's free. That's the one I use. My mom told me about it and I use it. And it's pretty great at identifying what a plant is, if it's poisonous or not. I know we certainly have some plants where I am that could be a poisonous plant that looks like another type of plant that is highly usable. So again, you just want to make sure you're being safe physically, emotionally, mentally, when you're going out to forage legally. That's kind of my biggest takeaway to start with. But then also when foraging, some of my favorite foraged finds have been completely unexpected. So I would say if you're really looking for ways to be more within nature, bring nature inside, but in a way that can be relatively low cost, obviously with foraging, that's the way to do it. But I like exploring if I'm going, for example, out on my own property. And maybe I have something in mind. Typically I do forage a lot of greenery on my own property, as well as some filler flowers that I have throughout the year. But I am always amazed that when I go out with an open mind about what else I might be able to find for my arrangements and my designs, that inevitably I'll find something really cool. Whether it's, especially right now, it's getting to be fall here. I will often find really cool branches that have fallen that I know I can paint or do really interesting things with. Pine cones are a big one that I love. I also love finding things that have maybe dried on the branch or fallen off and dried that are unique colors. I think that is so fun, again, especially for fall, but really can be incorporated a lot of times throughout the year. Thinking about in that same vein with like pine cones and dried things, also things that may be a little bit unexpected that you could incorporate into decor, whether that is a feather or a beautiful rock or stone. I mean, the sky is really the limit. I also love taking unique plant greens and stems and incorporating those so it doesn't have to be like traditional greenery. I love textural things, so anything that's beautiful and textural and speaks to me, I love kind of picking up along the way and using. So, along with being safe, obviously, which is first and foremost, I also would say kind of go with a little bit of a plan, but be open to what you might find foraging. I think that that's part of the fun of it. And finally, I alluded to this in my last comment, but have fun. I think that not having a super set plan allows for that. And foraging at the end of the day, I think is a really beautiful way to connect with nature. And again, bring nature into our homes, into our designs. And what is more beautiful than that? So, like I said, I have an article. I can link that to this as well. But I definitely love foraging. I love sharing my journey with foraging. And I will leave you with this thought. One thing that I did not think about as much early on when I was foraging was this idea of taking something from a place and potentially moving it to another place where it would not be maybe native or where the seeds could be spread somehow and be invasive. So I'll just end with saying, while that is fairly unusual. I have heard that from a few sources, like just of farmers actually, right? Like to think about that. And I love that perspective. And I do want to share that I think we do need to be mindful of using as much as we can, native plants, make sure that there aren't seeds or pieces that could blow away in the wind somewhere and become invasive, right, in another area. So I think that being good stewards of our land is super important as well. So I hope that this video was informative, that you enjoy foraging as much as I do, and I will see you on the next video.